is Clif Desmond, the Edge with the Cliff, from my new condo, my new virtual condo. Get it? It's my virtual condo from which I can present all of my podcasts right here onto YouTube or Facebook or anywhere I want to put them. I apologize for the headset microphone taking up all of this space, but it's part of the virtuality of it all. The microphone and the board that I've got, I can't quite figure it out. It's one of them little tiny little boards with actually 4 channels. The last 3 and 4 are shared on the same slide. I mean, and it has some effects, but I haven't got to make them work yet. So I need to look to see if the board itself may need a battery or something. But the reason for this video right here, right now, the reason I'm coming to you is because I'm looking for something, then perhaps you might be able to help me with it, because I need somebody, and it can be a number of people, because I'm looking for a very special kind of person, someone who might be considered an insider in the spiritual realm. Are you an insider in the spiritual realm? Are you a scryer? Do you channel? What do you do in the spiritual realm that would make you an insider in the spiritual realm? Because I want to help promote you. And, you know, when we put one of these videos on YouTube, you can share it with your friends, and their friends can share it with their friends. And, you know, you can refer to it or share it virtually forever, because once it goes up to YouTube, it never goes away unless it's taken down. And I'm not taking down any of my stuff. If any of my stuff disappears, there's only a slight chance of me taking anything down. Like for instance, if I pre-record a show and I mess it up and I put it up there, and then I realize I messed it up after, you know, several people watched it and said, hey, there's a mess up on there's a mistake on there. There's a prediction on there. It didn't come out right. Well, for one thing, if I make a prediction or something like that, I don't take any of it back, because I consider myself an insider in the spiritual realm, because I dabble in the spiritual realm all the time. When I wake up in the morning, I'm dabbling in the spiritual realm. And when I go to bed at night, I'm still dabbling in the spiritual realm. And when I'm dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, I am always dabbling in the spiritual realm. So I simply want to find others who are not afraid to come forth and tell their story. Let me interview them. I've been a brick and mortar radio station guy my whole working career. 42 years of being a radio producer. Radio itself has changed. The Zoom podcast has literally changed the world. I can use Zoom. If you're a spiritual insider, an insider in the spiritual realm, and you have Zoom, let me know what your email address is and when you'd like to get together, because we can do this on Zoom, you know, and it's pretty cool. I also have some post-production, you know, abilities where we can put titles on the screens, phone numbers or website addresses, any way that you would like to promote your thing out there. If you're an insider of the spiritual realm, if you got a website, that's even better. If you sell books on your website or sell items, I have a niece who's much into the Wiccan belief system, and she's very much into like herbs and things like that. Elderberry, especially elderberry. She has lots of elderberry growing in her area where she lives naturally, enough so that she can actually make and uses canning jars a syrup with elderberry that has some very highly nutritional, you know, qualities about it, and perhaps maybe even some healing qualities, because if it makes you feel better, if it makes you healthier, well, then therefore somehow it's got to be good for you. Somehow it's on the food chain. We do rely on the food chain, you know, and stuff that naturally occurs in the food chain that's good for us is really good for us. As you know, a lot of things on the food chain are not good for us. One of them being a substance that if it were just invented right now, the FDA would never approve it because it's so dangerous. And it has qualities that are very similar in addiction than cocaine. Do you know what it's called? Do you know? Sugar. Yes, that 5-pound bag of sugar you go through every month for your coffee and your Kool-Aid. is actually bad for you. And by the time you get to my age, if you don't have diabetes or something like that, you might have developed some other kind of a condition because of the sugar. So insiders in the spiritual realm, if you want to contact me to let me know what your email address is so I can, and when you would like to do it, we'll get together and we'll figure it out. Just send me an email. Now, here's how you get a hold of me by email. Can you spell the name Clif with one F? I do. Because if you go to youtube.com/Clif Desmond with one F, because there's only one F in Clif. I mean, I hear it said all the time. There's only one F in Clif. Clif Desmond, CLIFDESMOND, one word at gmail.com. Clif Desmond with one F, Clif Desmond at gmail.com. Send me, and in the subject line, just put insiders in the subject line, and I'll know what you're talking about, and I can direct my attention to it immediately upon checking out my email when I do that at various times during a day. So you let me know when you'd like to do this. If you have Zoom and I can send you an invite, well, I'll give you 30 minutes on the edge with the Clif to promote it all you want, to share it all you want. And if there's anything special that you'd like me to bring up, because I'll be interviewing you on it, anything special you want me to help you promote, let me know. If you've got a book that you've written, or if you've got books, or if you've got items, if you've got stuff, people love stuff. You know, there are all kinds of accessories out there in the spiritual realm. You know, you ever want a crystal ball? You go to eBay. Look for a crystal ball. They got them there. You need tarot cards? Although I don't see very many full-size tarot cards on eBay. I do see the little tiny mini decks that come with a book and a little carrying case. Pretty cool. They make great gifts. If you are in the market of selling any of those things on your website and you're an insider in the spiritual realm and you appear on the edge with the Clif, well, then you can promote your stuff, okay? And the edge with the Clif started out a number of years ago. I presented myself simply as a seeker, trying to find out what the heck's going on in this world. Why is everything so screwed up? And we think we figured out why. And you'll see if you ever gather up enough courage to view some of my previous videos from a couple years ago on YouTube. Now, the faint at heart and the fearful should not view those videos, because if you're fearful, if you walk around with a cloud over your head all day long, that you're hellbound, you're not going to want to look at any of my previous videos, because there's some things in these videos that exposes the lies. Now, I said lies. Yeah, the lies and the distortions that occur in the Bible through botched translation. Because there's a way now that you can translate Greek, Aramaic, Hebrew, the way the Bible was originally written, the original languages that were written in. And you can actually compare them to the translations of King James and a few others. And come to find out, King James did a lot of plagiarizing of a previous English Bible translation. I mean, there was some stuff in there they really didn't understand. And when they had to refer to that previously published English Bible, was because they didn't understand what the scriptures were trying to tell them. So they made stuff up along with what was written so that they could create, and I'll tell you who they are, they could create a fear, guilt, and control matrix, okay? Now, in spite of the distortions and in spite of all of this, deception that's already encoded into the Bible all the way through it, kiver to kiver, yeah, all that's in there, and we've got to kind of unindoctrinate ourselves and kind of learn it all over again. But you can do this yourself. You don't have to be a Bible scholar, although there are many Bible scholars that know how to do it. Most of them, they get right along in there and they start finding out, oh my gosh, this is so wrong. And they get attacked by the satanic drunkards. What are they drunk on? They're intoxicated They're intoxicated on righteousness because they feel they are so righteous. How darest thou contradicteth me? I am a Bible scholar. So you can go flee the coop because you're going to hell anyway. Well, you know, it's people like that I have a problem with. I know a rabbi. You know what? Rabbis are pretty cool. You know why? They're people persons. That's what I've noticed about some of the rabbis that I've encountered. I know a lady rabbi who's a much better people person than any pastor or minister I've ever encountered in my life, because there's no bias, there's no looking down the nose, there's no intoxication of righteousness present to annoy you with. Okay, this lady rabbi, it's like she's been attacked. She does a radio show that I've had part in the production of, and she gets a call from somebody that wants to tear her apart, and they find themselves helpless to do so because, well, she's got 2 master's, 2 doctor's degrees in world religion, and so she studied Judaism, she studied Hebrew, she can speak fluently in Hebrew, and not a browbeater of any sort whatsoever. When somebody attacks her with distortion, she blows them away with truth in such a kind way that no minister or pastor would be caught dead treating a congregationalist so nicely, because, you know, they really want to keep you on the edge and scared. They will never, ever, ever fully accept who you think you are in the spiritual realm, whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, or any other religion, a Hindu, any kind of religion out there. There are people who are so drunk with righteousness, they place themselves in their minds above everybody else. And you can tell. You can tell by the smell when you step in bullshit. There's no question about what it is. And, you know, what you got to be able to do, though, in those cases, is be able to wash your feet off so you can walk somewhere else again without leaving a smelly little trace of your moving around stuff. So if you are an insider in the spiritual realm, welcome aboard to the Edge with the Clif. Contact me, Clif Desmond, with 1 F, CLIFDESMOND, at gmail.com. Let me know what your email address is and when's a good time. Now, for me, in the afternoons on Saturdays are wonderful because I get off of my work at my brick and mortar job, the brick and mortar radio station, on Saturdays at noon, and I can be prepared to do a Zoomcast live from my virtual condo at about maybe by 12:30 on Saturday Eastern time, 12:30, all day and half the night available, and all day on Sundays. Sunday's a good time to do this. And I don't always do them live. I like to record them because I can post-produce. I have the ability to do the titles and credits and things like that on the screen that appear on television that you have to have extra software to be able to do at home in the safety of my condo, my virtual condo. You'll learn more about that too as we start shooting episodes of the all-new, back bigger and better than ever before, The Edge with the Clif. No longer just a seeker, because over the years of seeking, we found some things. And some of those things are very valuable and helpful to know. And if you're an insider in the spiritual realm, basically, you're going to like the nice warm company you'll be in with the folks that like to check out things like this. Because there are a lot of seekers out there like I was. You was a seeker once until you found out that you were an insider in the spiritual realm. There's a story in that, and you can tell it on The Edge with the Clif, okay? So one more time, Clif Desmond, CLIF, 1F, CLIFDESMOND, at gmail.com. And let me know when's a good time for you. We can probably do it in the early evening or night sometimes during the week, but not always. But Saturdays in the PM, afternoon, PM, wonderful. Anytime Sunday, morning, noon, or night, okay with me. Contact me, let me know. We'll get together quick. I'll send you an invite, a Zoom invite. If you have Zoom installed in your computer and know how to use it, well, you'll love it because that's what we'll use. And if you have a green screen and you have products or maybe you've got some crystals or candles in the background, think about your background. Think about the set, because when you're on Zoom, there'll be my little box and your little box. And of course, when people watch it, they'll see us both at the same time, although we're in two different locations, unless I have you here at the condo. I mean, here on Florida's Treasure Coast, some of you can actually come into the condo, the virtual condo, and do a show with me here. Yeah, in the privacy of my home, the virtual condo. And I really can't wait to get you started in here, and looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So this is Clif Desmond, The Edge with the Clif on YouTube under youtube.com/Clif Desmond, CLIFDESMOND with one F. And you contact us and you'll be on there with us. And we'll share it on Facebook. We'll do all kinds of stuff with these videos that we create with you on the edge with the Clif. You're no longer a seeker. You're an insider in the spiritual realm.